Hey everyone, really excited for our show today. We recorded this episode of In Good Faith live at Youngplace in downtown Toronto. We got together 2 Jewish comedians, Rosen and Adrienne Fish, and 2 Arab comedians, Bate and Nour Hadidi, for a night of laughter and thoughtful discussion. This is going to be the first of 2 live events we'll be doing. The next one will be in Vancouver in the next couple of months, and we'll have more information about it in the coming weeks.
Thank you everybody for coming. My name is Michael Freeman. I'm the producer of this show. I work at the Canadian Jewish News. Proceeds from this event will be going to the Vivian Silver Impact Award. So thank you all for your contribution. For those who don't know, the award goes to 2 women, 1 Arab, 1 Jewish, who are working toward peace in Israel-Palestine. I'm not normally someone who uses the word like bravery when referring to coming on a podcast, but in this case, it's like kind of warranted. I was naive at the beginning of this. It's been shockingly difficult to get people to come to this event, to approve of this event. I thought like, it's a peace thing. Everyone loves peace. No. Not everybody likes peace. Some people do not like it. And so I really do think it's, I want to commend, I want to thank, like personally, I genuinely want to thank the comics for coming to this and for seeing it through. Thank you guys so much. And with that, I will invite the host of the podcast, Yafa, Sakkejha, and Avi Finegold.
Go Jays. That's the chant I was going to do tonight. Not another chant. I was going to say the Go Jays Go chant. That's an acceptable chant. Avi, I was the one. If you want to blame someone on why we're having a comedy event, it was me. I fall on the sword. Trigger warning on the sword. But the thing is like... Look, I mean, I grew up in a Palestinian family, and we often say existence is resistance, and joy is resistance. And so I grew up with my grandmother, Khadija, God rest her soul, saying, look, like after the 1967 war was done in Jerusalem, my grandmother, with like 2 pennies to her name, hired a night nanny to come and sleep in the house with 7 kids in Ramallah, so that her and her husband can go out dancing every single night to Hotel Ode. I was like, every night? My mom's like, every night. I was like, oh, that's where your trauma comes from. Like, so I'm like, okay, so if my grandmother gives me permission, and I'm wearing her jewelry today of these raging feminist women that were like, I'm going to walk to El Sahra, the Al-Aqsa Mosque. I'm going to wear what I want. I'm going to put my hair what I want. I'm going to go anytime I want because no one is going to tell me where to go in my backyard. Okay. So this is my backyard. This is my ancestral home, Queen West. And yeah.
So I am so excited to be doing this with you. This has been a wild trip. We're not even finished recording. I mean, we've been recording episodes. We've been doing all sorts of interviews. It has been so incredibly compelling. Please go subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, all of that. Share it. Send it to your friends. Send it to your enemies. That's fine. A listen is a listen. Thankfully, tonight is not about me, and we have amazing comedians here tonight who are going to be hopefully using laughter to bring us a little bit closer together. And so with that, I really want to invite Dan Rosen, our comedy MC for the evening, to get the ball rolling.
Thank you, Avi. Thank you, Yafa. As Yafa pointed out, Jewish, Muslim, we all need to root for the Jays, right? So... yeah, that's right. Sports ball. My name is Dan Rosen. It's the Jewish version of John Smith. That's right. It's a very Jewish name. You'll see it all over. Jewish Tinder, which is a real thing, as some of you may know. It's called J Swipe. There's J Date, which is plenty of gefilte fish, and then J Swipe is just I want that dick, but it better be circumcised. Right? It's the only place where someone will request a dick pic, but just for clerical reasons. Right? All right, a little off the top, that's perfect. Come on in. If there was a Jewish detective show, my name would show up all the time. They'd be like, Officer Leibowitz. Any idea on the Vic? Nope. Just another Dan Rosen. Not that there would be a Jewish detective show, because everyone would confess in the first 10 minutes. Right? Or their mother would drag them into the police station saying, you go tell the officer what you did to Maury Hirschberg's department store. I'm also Irish Jewish, which makes me rarer than a leprechaun. Right? And it's funny because a lot of like friends are like, "Oh, that's an odd combination," but I don't think so because like Jewish people, we eat latkes, which are made of potatoes, right? And Irish people are made of potatoes, so it makes sense. A little bit also about me. I'm 5'10", 150 pounds. It's very anemic chic. No special diet to keep this svelte figure. Just 26 years of incurable bowel disease. You don't need a special diet when everything gives you chronic diarrhea. So I have this thing called Crohn's disease. Don't Google image search that. Some things come up. So it's funny because like during the pandemic, everyone was isolating for a while, and then when I came out, people were like, "Oh, Dan, have you lost weight?" I'm like, "Well, I did recently lose muscle mass." They're like, "No, you've got like a six-pack now." I'm like, "Oh, stop. That's just the way my skin hangs off my intestines." Right? Because it is like this like painful, incurable, embarrassing disease, and all the symptoms are fart and poop related. It's like the whoopee cushion of chronic illness. Right? In addition to Crohn's disease, I also have a wife. But she's great. She's a wonderful person, very supportive. She's great. When we went on our first date, many years ago, we went walking in the woods, and she asked me about the last time I got sick. So I told her about this anal abscess I had, and how, I'd had for 6 months I had to go to this, medical facility because I had to have butt surgery, and not the sexy kind of butt surgery. And then I have to get like a nurse every few days to go fix the gauze in my new little mini butthole above my actual butthole. So I told her all this on our first date. And then 10 minutes later, we made out for the first time. I'm like, "Oh, I need to lock this chick down." Like I was pricing engagement rings the next day. So we also have, in addition to a wife, I also have some kids. They're also great. It's funny because like people, any other parents here, by the way, any parents in the audience? Yeah, nice. So we all abandoned our children tonight. Great. It's funny because then like a lot of people, they always talk about remembering like the first steps, the first words. I don't remember any of that. Like I do remember the first time my son almost peed in my face. And I remember the first time he pooed in the potty. We were visiting my in-laws. They live out in like Richmond, BC, right along the river. And so, he was getting ready. He's like, "I'm ready for the potty, but I want privacy." So he takes off all his clothes and he takes the potty around the corner, like past a bush, and he does his first poo in complete privacy from us. The cruise ship coming down the Fraser River, however, gets a full view. So like 20 Japanese tourists now have this video of like this Canadian Jewish tradition to send their kids to have their first poo alongside the river. So that's my family. All right. Are you guys ready to keep the show, keep going and rolling along? All right. We've got a lot of really great comedians for you tonight. We've got 3 more really excellent acts. The next one, he's an award-winning filmmaker in addition to being a great comedian. So he's kind of like the Muslim Seth Rogen, or like Woody Allen without the controversial stuff. Give a warm welcome for AJ Bate.
I told him not to use the Woody Allen one, and he did. So now I have to justify my existence to you guys. That's really not a good start. Crohn's? No? Okay. I just wanted to say that. I'm Arab. I try to care about Arab causes, but it's very hard, especially when people keep telling me to go back to Mexico. One guy was like, "Hey man, it's better to be mistaken for Mexican than Arab." I'm like, "I think it's a lateral move, It's It's not the promotion that you think it is, but if you want spicy or mild, let's keep this moving. I used to live in Hamilton. I live in Toronto now. My rent in Hamilton was $450 a month. I know everybody's just like, ugh. What happened to the world? No, the trick is, though, I had a very racist landlord. A week into living there's a real conversation I have with him. He comes up to me and he goes, "You're my favorite ethnicity that I've had here so far." And then he goes, "Do you want to know what my least favorite ethnicity is?" I'm like, "More than I want my next breath. I'll pay more in rent to have this information." And then he goes, "Arabs." I'm like, "Oh shit, that's me, I think. I don't know, that's not good." Does the rent go up now? Like I'm curious. I'm curious. What ethnicity do you think I am? And he goes, Mexican. I'm like, a mí me gusta complacer a las mujeres. Despacito, Gangnam Style. Shakira. And if he wasn't racist, he would think I was speaking Mandarin. But that's the problem with racists. They can't tell the difference. I'm not a very religious person. I'm agnostic. I do think being agnostic is the right choice because you'll never run into a crazy person on the street yelling about being agnostic. You're never going to hear somebody be like, "God doesn't exist." Or maybe he does. Here's this pamphlet full of conflicting spiritual information. But then you open it and it's just pictures of the crazy guy just shrugging his shoulders like, no, that's a lot. It does feel weird to be agnostic because it does feel like you're playing hard to get with God. Because God's like, "Hey, do you believe in me?" You're like, "Well, I don't know. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. If you want to buy me something nice for Christmas, then I'll change my..." All right. I'm the oldest. Yeah, it's okay. You can pick up the phone. Yeah, it's fine. We're only trying to do something here. I'm the oldest of four. I have a 19-year-old brother, and he's very stupid. He recently broke up with his girlfriend, and instead of saying it was mutual, he said it was a unanimous decision. So that's pretty stupid. I was like, how many people were involved in this decision? Was it a Zoom meeting? Like, what else? I'm an immigrant to Canada, and I recently got my Canadian citizenship. Yeah. Thank you. I do a lot of shows in small towns, and they don't clap when I say that. I generally don't care if people clap or not, but what does bother me is I do these shows with another comedian who's 37 years old. And not that it matters, but it kind of does. He's white, and he recently got his G1 license, and he just goes on stage. He's like, "So I got my G1 license," and like standing ovation. Like these people could not be more proud of him. Like they're just carrying him on their shoulder. It's like they have a statue of him in Godrich. If you ever go there, that's the place. Sorry, it's a very racist place. And I'm just in the back. I'm like, "Hey, I left everybody that I love back home." And they're like, "Well, did you leave with a G1 license?" I'm like, "I have a full G." I'm like, taking advantage of the system, Marvin. I did get my citizenship. My favorite part of going through the immigration process is I had to do an interview with immigration because the agent that was in charge of my file was a fellow Arab lady. And I had to prove to her that I know how to speak English. Some of you are laughing already. You kind of know. It's racist, but you're right. But like, here's the thing. She did not know how to speak English. But that's none of my business, okay? But she's going through my file, and she's like, "Oh, okay, everything seems to be great. One thing missing, though, is you need proof of English. So you need, how do I say, Habibi, it has your face on it. Can you Google it for me?" She's like, "You have certificate." I'm like, if you're struggling to find the word certificate, I don't think you and I should be having this fucking conversation. I should be on the other side of that fucking table, but I need her more than she needs me. So I was like, "Oh, sister, please help me." She was like, "You don't have an accent." I'm not, "Did you fucking liar?" Like we're both lying. we're both lying to stay in Canada. I'm like, I respect the brown hustling queen, you know? It's a salute. That's like, trying to live life, trying to be a good person, you know? I don't know, like anybody used to work at Tim Hortons? Sorry? It's very dark. Nobody. Okay. You guys are doing well in life. Great. Good job. I used to work at Tim Hortons. It was my first job when I moved to Canada. It's what happens when you have a degree from another country. That's okay. All right. You can be upset. It's true. I don't know why you're mad. I didn't want it either. But my first day there was behind a counter. This is a true story. My first day behind a counter, this guy walks in, and the first thing he says to me, he goes, "Hey, man, I don't mean to be racist." And I was like, "Well, you don't have to at all." And he was like, "Oh, but I insist." And I was like, all right, well, go ahead, gentlemen. He goes, "I don't mean to be racist, but you look different." I'm like, "What the fuck is that supposed to mean?" And he goes, "Well, there used to be an old Asian lady." All right. He goes, "There used to be an old Asian lady that gives me my coffee, and I don't know if you know this, but you're not Asian." I'm like, "Oh, it's very good." I'm like, "I'm not an Asian lady, but I'm also not old or a fucking lady either. Why didn't you start with those two first and then work your way towards racism like everybody else does?" And then he goes, "Where are you from, friend?" And I said, "I'm from this country called Libya. It's in the Middle East. Now, technically, it's a North African country, but guess what? We're in Tim Hortons." There's no time for facts. We just want to keep this ball of minimum wage rolling. But then he surprises me and he goes, "You're wrong. Libya's in North Africa." I'm like, who the fuck is this guy right now? This is not in the training video. Like, what's your order, man? He finally gave him his order. His order was 2 milk and 2 sweeteners. I was new to Canada at the time. I've never heard of sweeteners before. I thought it was a cute name they gave sugar. Because everything is depressed in Tim Hortons. Even the sugar deserves a pep talk. It's like, get in there, sweetener. You can do it. So I gave him 2 sugars, fucked up, and I gave him 2 sugars, and he left, came back 2 minutes later, shaking and sweating. All right, so there are people here who might have diabetes, but I'm sorry. I didn't do it to him. I escalated it, yeah, but okay. No. He was like dying. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to... Okay, all right, I'm just joking, guys. He's not a real person. I'm not even Arab. Okay. No. I am Arab, and he had diabetes, and he died. But that's, what are you going to do? He was racist. What do you want? Like, all right. You guys are a lot of fun, man. Thank you so much, George.
Give it going for AJ Bates. All right. We're going to keep this comedy train rolling. Your next comedian is also really funny, really talented. She's been on Just for Laughs and CBC's The Debaters. Give a warm welcome for Adrienne Fish.
Thank you guys so much. Guys, keep it going for Dan kicking this thing off. Oh, what's up? I know I'm at a predominantly Jewish show because a woman's cell phone rang and then she was like, picked it up. She's like, "Hello, David. You better come tomorrow. You said you were coming tomorrow." I was like, "You gotta hang up the phone, ma'am." But here we are. Hey friends, how are we doing? We're okay? Good. I stand up. Stand up is my it's my full-time gig. It's my full-time ding dong. Yeah, this is. I mean, it's a really cool show that we're doing here. I mean, politics right now are insane. I'm sure we'll get into it in a little bit. But my dad actually wants me to get into politics. Yeah, he wants me to. It's not the joke, ma'am. I've been on stage for 2 seconds. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, he wants me to get into politics. He wants me to be the mayor of Toronto. Oh, sweet. Okay. All right, sweet. I got 6 people in on this. This is their first meeting. He texts me all the time. He's like, "You should be the mayor." It's because he saw You know the Ukrainian president, Zelensky? Right, yeah. He used to be a comedian. So now my dad is like, Ben, he's like, this is it. He's like, pivot. I gave him a tough go. It was not easy being my dad. I had a cocaine addiction at 18, which landed me on the streets for like a hot minute. I slammed a U-Haul into a liquor store. I couldn't afford the damages, so I had to flee the city. I was living out east in Halifax. I fled the city. I moved back to Toronto. I started a career in stand-up. And my dad's like, yeah, you're the mayor, 110%. Like that's, that's my daddy. Two people are impressed with my path. Thank you so much. My dad's incredible. I mean, my mom doesn't like that joke as much. She doesn't like that I had a cocaine addiction. She doesn't like the wording. She's proper. She's British. She's like, Adrienne, you did not have a cocaine addiction. You had a mild and transient. It was a cocaine ritual. She's nice. But me and my dad didn't get along so well during my cocaine ritual days, which is why the relationship that I have with my dad now is so special and meaningful to me, because we've really been through, you know, the ups and downs of life together. Now we're solid. We do father-daughter things together. Like we smoke weed together, which is so nice. You guys got kids? Make some noise. You got kids? Yeah, you guys smoke weed with your kids? Like if they're of age, not like your 10-year-old. You're like, oh, take a little toke, kid. My dad's in his early 70s now, and he'd never smoked weed before, or like he's at the age now where he's trying everything. He's a really cool, he's just, when you're like, when I turn 80, I'm going to do heroin. Like, that's my dad now, which is really cool. So he never smoked out of a vape pen, and he was visiting me from England. That's where he lives. And he was visiting me, and he came over, and there wasn't much left in my vape pen. So I was like, you really got to haul off this thing, Pops. He's like, right, go ahead. He's also British. So so I'm like, for at least 5 seconds, he's like, right, go ahead. So he starts pulling. Like 1, 2, I'm counting for him, 3, 4, get it all in. And then he does this thing where he blows smoke out of his nose because he thinks he's like, I'm a cool dad, So he does it. And we had a great conversation. That was it. He really enjoyed it. So we fast forward a couple weeks later, and we're going on a canoe trip. And it's me, my mom, my dad, and my sister. So it's just like a family time. And we get to the campsite. And I bust out my vape pen, but it's a new cartridge. Correct. So if you've never smoked out of a vape pen, you just take a little toot, and then you pass it on. That's it. It's a weed distillate, so it's very powerful. So I take a little toot, and I pass it to my dad, and my dad, thinking this was the old, he just starts hauling off this thing, and he's like looking at me, and he's like 1, 2, 3, and I'm like, whoa, and I can't stop it. Like, it's happening, and there's like way too much vapor. He starts coughing. My mom's pissed. Like, she's trying to be cool with the fact that we smoke weed together, but she's not that cool with it because she thinks that weed is like a gateway drug, which, like, it is. So eventually my dad stops coughing. And I'm like, you good, Dad? He's like, I'm good. I'm like, cool. Not going to be good in a couple minutes, but I don't tell him that. I'm just like looking at him, and he's doing all right. But he's not saying much, but I'm like, that's pretty good. He's going to make it through. Pops has got this. And he's just like looking like this. And then he just yells. He's like, I've got to lie down. You don't want to get your dad too high. So I'm like, I'm just like petting him. I'm just like making sure he's okay. And he's not okay. He's super not. He's like super tense, and he's like, he's shaking and he's like, stop the world. I want to get off. He's like not doing well. But then after like a minute, his whole body relaxed. And I was like, you good, Pops? And he goes, oh, yeah. But then he said the best line. He's like, he goes, oh, yeah. Oh, just listen to the fucking loons. And the loons were in the background. The loons were going crazy. The loons were like, doing their loon thing. But I was so proud of him because he was riding the wave. He was doing drugs really well. I was like, nice, Dad. that's where I get it. He starts enjoying it. He starts singing. He's like, when I get older. He's like, when I'm 64. I'm like, you're 70. That's cool. Anyway, so he passed out. A couple hours later, we have to wake him up, and we're going back to the parking lot. Back. We have to go back. So we get into a canoe, and it's just me and my dad, which is a really nice time. And I'm like, he says, Adrienne, this is like 2 hours later. He goes, I can still feel it. I'm like, what does that mean to you? You can still feel it. What does that mean? He's like, well, I can see sound, and I can hear the colors, and they're kind of all on top of each other. I'm like, that's amazing. That's amazing because, weed can't do that. But what is happening is that weed is allowing his mind to slow down enough to be in the present moment. And the present moment is beautiful, and it is magical, and there are all these colors, and there are all these sounds. And then I started thinking, I wonder what would happen if we added a hallucinogen. Which we did. On his 71st birthday, we biked from Switzerland into France. We did a 5-day biking tour. And on the 5th day, we ate a little bit of mushrooms together. Just a little bit, just a little micro. Next time I want to dose them. I really want to... And I'll be like, the loons are on the fucking moon, man. You guys are a really fun little audience. This has been a pleasure. My name's Adrienne Fish, guys. Peace and love.
Keep it going for Adrienne Fish. I like her little drug genesis with her dad. Like, on the first day we did weed. On the 5th day we did shrooms, On the 7th day we rested. We were too high. All right, we've got one more great comedian for you guys. She has also been on Just for Laughs, on CBC Debaters, and What We Do in the Shadows. Give a warm welcome for Nour Hadidi!
Oh my gosh, thank you. Hi, everyone. It's so lovely to be here. My name is Nour. And I've got the depression. I'm a little depressed because I'm alive. And it's okay. It's okay. I come in and out of it, I know when I'm feeling better on days where my Face ID doesn't work. I have to frown for my phone to unlock. I'm smiling and Apple's like, that's not you, girl. One of the things that makes me feel better... I'm a very progressive person, but I love watching the UFC. Do you guys know the UFC? Okay, one straight well, I was going to say one straight guy, but it was a woman, so that's so progressive. Okay, let's cut this part out of the podcast, okay? I just want to kill start to end. Okay, comedically. Okay, we're going off the rails already. Thank you. I love watching the UFC. If you don't know the UFC, it's Ultimate Fight for a Cuddle. That's what it stands for. I think a lot of men want a hug, but they don't know how to ask for it. So they'll learn jiu-jitsu, I love the UFC because it's the only place where Muslims were encouraged to beat up white people, Yeah, because outside that octagon, it's terrorism. Let's be honest. Like AJ, I'm also an immigrant to Canada. And I moved here from Jordan. I love telling people that, especially when I'm in the States. Because one time this girl was like, oh, like Michael Jordan. Yeah, I said yes. I am from Michael Jordan. Yeah, and Air Jordan is our airline, actually. That's how we travel. Thank you. I have just, like all of you, have been so heartbroken, and the last 2 years have been so hard. Whenever I felt useless, though, I just remind myself that the UN exists. And then that keeps me going, I was on my way to a protest. Has anyone here been to any protests recently? Okay, a couple people. I was at a protest, and a guy, he was driving, and he yelled at me. He said, fuck Hamas, yeah. And I said, sir, I'm so single, I would fuck Hamas. They're a little busy right now, but thank you. It'd be hard to date in a tunnel, it would... Oh, we're staying in again? Okay. It's hard. It's hard. This is 100% true. My best friend is Jewish of 8 years. I'm very lucky my best friend is Jewish and not Zionist, you know? Because when she comes over, I know she'll leave, you know? So that's nice. And she'll never cut off my water supply. So that's good. That's good. That's good. You guys are a great crowd, by the way. Some people are not. Like one time I did a show and that guy came up to me after and he said, "Hey, you were great, just not as interactive as some of the other comics." Yeah, so I punched him and did the trick. Back in June, I went on the global march to Gaza to try to establish a humanitarian corridor. Thank you. And that's not how Egypt welcomed us at all. It was, for 24 hours, it was Free Palestine and Nour. You know, it was a little dicey there. And the guy, he asked me, he's like, the Egyptian police, he asked me, he's like, "How do I know you're not a spy?" I was like, "Well, you got me, sir. You got me. Been moonlighting as a comic for 13 years. Because I work for CSIS. Which, by the way, still too close to ISIS. Does anyone else agree? Does anyone know? All the cool agencies have 3 letters, right? Why do we have 4? I think it'd be easier to get ISIS to change their name to CSIS, and then that way we could get okay. We'll cut that part out. It was a new one, and it might be a CGN exclusive. Okay. No, but you know, I was there with 4,000 white people, and we got detained, and I was like, "Sir, just let us walk. You know, there's a white man here, no SPF tank top. The sun's gonna get us." I will tell you the weirdest question I got doing stand-up. I've been doing stand-up for a long time. This is the weirdest question I've gotten. After a show, a girl came up to me and she asked me, she said, "Excuse me, are you a practicing Muslim?" Yeah, I said, "Yes, I'm hoping to make the national team this year." I don't know if you know them, the Muslim All-Stars, but we put the all in Allah. That's what we do. All right, I've been Nour Hadidi. Thank you so much, everyone.
One more time for Nour Hadidi. All right, now we're gonna get to, I guess, hopefully still fun, but like not as like jokey part. Let's have our hosts Avi and Yafa back on stage, and all the other comics to join me, and let's get started. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Hello, is this on? Yeah. Nour, do I get to ask you, like on behalf of all of Israel, if you can have a hug?
Hey.
Actually, I want to start with you, Dan. Unlike probably most anybody else on this panel, myself included, actually, you work at a synagogue.
Correct.
Yeah, and part of the reason why this event even happened is because you started putting on these comedy nights after October 7th, bringing Jewish and Muslim, comedians together. Can you tell us a bit about the process and what some of the reactions were?
So first off, I also wasn't the first person to ever do like a Jewish Muslim thing. There was years ago before COVID, if anyone can remember back that far, there was this comedian, Rush Kazi, who is a really great Muslim comedian, and she started this Muslim Jewish collective called Muju, and would have these pork-free showcases. Shout out to Rush Kazi, definitely support her, another really great comedian. But then, after October 7th and seeing people divide, and then someone had posted oh, remember before all this started, it was a New York comedian, we used to have this Jewish Muslim show, and I'm like, oh, now would be a great time. And they were like, oh, well, we're not really ready yet. And I was like, well, I'm ready. And I was like, let's just have our friends get together and do, hilarious shows together. And it was super fun. We did 3. For the most part, it was actually really positive. And one really great thing is I have an uncle who he's 80 years old. He's very sequestered in his worldview. And he'd every now and then make some Islamophobic comment. And then my dad would shut him down and so on. And then so my mom took him to one of the shows. And he was like, all those Jewish and Muslim communities, they're so quick on their feet. How do they come up with this stuff? And they memorize the jokes. And like all of a sudden, like he was like in on it with like, he was applauding Muslim people on stage. And I was like, well, if nothing else, at least that progress happened. And so that was kind of what I was hoping for. And it was great.
Was there a lot of negative reactions? Was there a lot of politics on stage?
There wasn't a lot of politics. So it often would go more towards like cultural jokes. I sometimes used to make this joke where I'd say like, no, I don't mind people getting mad at me. I don't really talk about politics that much, but I don't want someone to then take it out on my wife or my sons. So I'm the one who's hiding behind women and children. So it was more of like, it wasn't so political, and we kept it more cultural, which I thought was a nice start at least.
Honestly, you all were so hilarious tonight. Everybody has a role in a movement, and I really think of you all as like first line workers for the soul, because I think of...
I'm a rabbi.
Yes. What do you do? Sorry. Nour, I just want to turn to you for a minute, because I feel like, when I see you and I really, empathize with you, and I love, your set tonight was so hilarious. And I'm like floored that you were choosing some really pointed words. And I thought, wow, like really brave to take some risks. And also, I felt like in the past I have struggled with like my word choices. I feel like sometimes I play, that game Operation. Like you have to contort yourself, but then if you contort too much, then I'm not a real one. So like, I'm really not sure what to do. So can you just kind of address?
Yeah, it would be a lot easier if I didn't use the words that feel truthful to myself, because maybe someone in the audience is going to like me more. But that's not going to get us anywhere. If I hide the true way I feel from you so that you will like me, we're not going to get anywhere. And also, I think activism is a bit new for me. So I've learned to... With comedy, you say things in the hopes that people will like you. With activism, it's the opposite. You say things knowing people will hate you. So trying to merge the two has been challenging, and it's not easy. I think I speak for a lot of us comics up here when we say we were a bit nervous before doing this show because we didn't know how we would be perceived by you. But it's important to show up to places that make us uncomfortable, because we need to talk, we need to show up, and at the end of the day, I truly believe that we are in this together. Like you said, we're trying to create a better world.
Agreed. Definitely, yes. Nour, I would love to know, what really inspired you and motivated you to come tonight? Just pulling on that thread up a little bit more, like understanding it felt a little bit charged, but what was the decision point for you?
I've never seen as much change as I have in the past 20 years. Like, I'm only 37, but... Sorry, I mean 24 if any TV producers are here. When I first came to Canada and I was a student at McGill, I wasn't even allowed to say the word Palestine. And the conversation has shifted so much in the past 20 years. And I want to capitalize on any opportunity to have someone who maybe disagrees with my views, or doesn't agree with all of them, but sees that I'm working towards the same goal they are. And that is genuinely true. My best friend Natalie is Jewish, and I've learned so much about Judaism, and it's added a lot of nuance to my life and an understanding that I would not have had I not had someone so close to me be so deeply affected as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yes, I've had that same experience where I look back and I'm just so thankful for the people that held on to their relationship with me as opposed to push me away, because it really does help. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Adrienne, you were hilarious. Oh my goodness. My head was like throwing back. So funny. I love how you speak about your family, and from what I understand, you do have a diversity of political views in your family. So this is a real question for me to you. Like, I'm somebody that now is experiencing the diversity in my family for kind of the first time. And I'm like, wow, how do you grapple with, choosing your family versus choosing the movement? Like, at what point I feel like risking cutting people off or people cutting me off. Like, I don't know if you could kind of give advice to me in that.
Ooh, advice. Well, I can tell you, your audience a bit about my family. My sister, my eldest sister is an Orthodox Jew. And my other sister is an activist to the highest,
She's incredible.
Yeah, so we got range within the Fish family. So there's tension, but I think we do a fairly good job. Within the family, I think we kind of, everyone knows where everyone stands, and we don't bring it up at Shabbat dinner. But it is tense. It's tough. It's tough when I hear views from my mom that I don't agree with, that I never thought she would say. It's tough and then it's also beautiful to see my mother shift in ways that she has a beautiful mind. And so at first it was a little bit shocking to hear some of her views, and then I've seen her shift and grow and change, and so that's, I think, also really. So there's a whole range within the family, and I think that's also we've got all the things. So in terms of how I interact with it, and everyone in the family has a family value of family first. So we stay away from those topics. But yeah, it's tough. It's not easy, and I'm still trying to figure out my way through it. And I think we all are, within our friends, within our family as well. So it's tough. It's not easy. There's no real answer there other than like, good luck.
Get them high.
Give your dad
What?
drugs.
Get them high.
Get them on,
Yeah,
smoke a doobie and just maybe have a chat. Yeah.
Well, actually, some of those views show up in your act sometimes. What's it like for you to be expressing your political views on stage?
I think it's
as a Jewish
important.
person?
I think it's super important. It's also easier for me to say it, whereas I think for these two to come to this show, like, I can't imagine what it's like for you guys to walk into this space not knowing, especially with the online hate that's been coming at you, specifically to Nour, like, you got balls, girl. And
Oh no, thank you. I don't. I did get a lot of online hate. People were trying to have me removed from the event. They think that I attended pro-October 7 rallies or things like that, which do not exist. And I get my strength from the Palestinian people who stay hopeful and strong in the face of what is happening to them. And so I say, if they can get up and go to school and continue on with an empty stomach, then I can show up to a space to try and advocate for their humanity and their right to live.
I want to get to you, AJ. I like you, am North African. I'm half Moroccan. I get it.
Shakshuka? You guys?
Yeah, of course. Just come on. Gee, please. What people might not know about you is that you're like a revolutionary, basically. You single-handedly, like, you are personally responsible for bringing down Gaddafi in Libya.
Yes, I was.
Can you tell us this story and tell us how this like affects your identity?
I was in the video when he was. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to. It happened in 2011. I was 19 at the time. My parents, just before the revolution, they immigrated to Canada, and then the revolution happened. So I decided I wanted to stay back to be part of it because it's a once in a lifetime thing. I'm never going to witness it again, and I feel like just want to be part of change. Want to be part because I grew up in a family that was anti-Gaddafi. A lot of people around us were anti-Gaddafi. So. But there was fear, so it was like, okay, well, if we say that, then this is the time to be a part of it. And so I started off, I speak English, so I translated for a lot of European journalists. There was this Italian journalist that was like, oh, the general of the Revolution Army got shot. I'm going to go interview him. You want to come with me? I'm like, I don't speak English anymore. You can go by yourself. I love my country, but like I like being alive a lot. It's my favorite thing about myself. And no, I went with him, and I was terrified the whole time. So this is easy. Like I'm not okay. But I did decide, doing translation and getting aid to parts of the country and all that stuff. I felt like, that was what I was doing, but I felt like there were friends of mine and members of my family were joining the Revolutionary Army, so I thought like I wasn't doing enough. So I got, okay, let me join that. So I joined the Revolutionary Army for exactly 7 hours, and then I left because it was a nightmare. I walked in there. it was a bunch of teachers that were teaching how to shoot a gun. The guy that was in charge of our platoon, I swear to God, was our local drug dealer. I swear. I was like, when did you become in charge? And I have to take orders from this guy? People that know how to shoot a gun, they're like that. Like, that's how, those were the people that were teaching us. And I think I did half an hour of assembling and disassembling an AK-47, and they're like, okay, you're ready now. I'm like, really? Like, no? And they're like, okay, you're gonna take these guys and you're gonna go to the front line. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna get on a cool truck or something. They're like, do you have a car? I'm like, what kind of a fucking army is this? So I literally drove to the front line. I swear to God, I drove to the front line in my mom's Nissan Versa. Yeah, I swear to God, yeah, it was my
reliable automobile.
Actually not, because we were crying the whole time going there because we were like, oh, we're so gonna die. It's not literally, it's not even gonna be the rocket itself. It's gonna be the shrapnel. I'm gonna die of a paper cut or something. It's not glorious at all. So we drove there and we had a flat tire, and we were just in the middle of the desert, flat tire, and it was we're all just tears, crying. And when we called the guy, the drug dealer, he showed up and he was so disappointed that I'm like, you set up to fail. Why are you mad at us? And also, you're a drug dealer. Why are we not talking about this? Why is nobody bringing this up? And so he's like, oh, you guys got a flat tire. He's like, okay, I guess you guys got to go home now. And I just left, and that's it. I just left. They won after that, but I think that me not being part of that was the thing that got them. So in a way, I kind of contributed my own way. So that was my part of the revolution. And I came to Canada, so that's very good. Yeah.
I want to open this up to everybody. What's it been like doing comedy after October 7th?
It's been shocking to see how much anti-Palestinian racism that gets tossed out towards my colleagues and towards myself. The hate that I receive is from Jews, and it's shocking to see. That's been the hardest part.
I'm trying to think of the first shows I did a couple years ago after October 7th, and it's very much you step into the green room, see the other comics, and you're maybe thinking of what they post and be hey, so how is it going? I've been very sort of apolitical because it was just so stressful just thinking about all of it, so I've kind of backed out of it publicly, for better or for worse.
I decided that I wanted to write jokes about what was happening because it felt right at the time, and that was really difficult because we don't all live in the same shared reality when it comes to this issue. A joke is a setup and then a punchline, and usually we can agree on a setup. So when I talk about things like mental health, things I've been through, we all agree on the setup. But this is the first time in my life where I've written on such a politically charged topic that even the setup, I have to think about every single word I use, and people will still misconstrue my words. Like Adrienne said, clips of mine where some of the jokes I said tonight have been posted on doxing accounts, and then people come after me and they leave horrible comments, and I can handle it. The worst part is when they leave a comment on a post where I've collaborated with someone from Gaza who's just asking to be fed, and then someone will say something like, was it worth it now? And it's well, this person had nothing to do with it, and you're sending more hate his way when he's already dealing with so much. So I've learned to be better online with things, I think, is how it's been with the online sharing of my jokes and dealing with the online reaction of what I say.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to kind of really complain about all this stuff when, you've heard the stories that these two comedians have been going through. Because for me, I haven't really been going through as much. I have, especially right after October 7th, there were some Jewish comedians that came up to me when they were very angry. And I think that, the way I see it, I don't like it when people talk about politics, why you gotta bring up politics? Politics is personal, and I think that anybody who says that, I think is very naive, because even the person that we consider privileged is still affected by politics, and so a lot of the Jewish comedians that have talked to me right after October 7, it wasn't necessarily, at least the ones that I spoke to, didn't come from a place of like hate or bigotry, but it was genuine fear and just being frightened. And I think the best way to approach people is to hear them out. At the end of the day, it's just more like, I don't want to say kumbaya, peace and love, but you do have to make the other person that is scared feel like, okay, I hear you, I understand you, but here's the other side, so you can have a complete vision and so that I can walk you down from that ledge. Because I moved from Libya when I was 24, so I grew up in the Middle East for a very, very long time, and I understand what it's like to be in an environment, and it's not just even with Israel and Palestine, just everything in life with culture. It's like I know what it's like to be in a chamber that reinforces over and over and over again. And I think if I was young, I would have loved to have somebody to be like, hey man, just come here, let me talk to you for a second. And I think that's just how I approach it. I haven't really received a lot of hate, to be honest, especially compared to you guys, but I've had a lot of people come and talk to me and try to be reasonable. That's all.
I think also one thing for me, like I always think about my kids, and so I have a son who's in kindergarten right now. We live in Thornhill, so we live in like the Jewishest neighborhood. Like I see 6 like large novelty-sized menorahs on the way to work every day, and I really love that. Like I love that. But in his class, he goes to public school during the week, and he has it's about, I'd say half his friends are Jewish, and half his friends are like Buddhist, Hindu, Muslim, everything else. And like there's always at the same birthday parties goofing around. And I remember when like his Iranian friend came up to him once and said like salam, and then he was like, oh, like shalom, and they were like going back and forth. It was like this interfaith potato moment.
It was like a Sesame Street.
Yeah. It was like but like, and like that's great because like we can do it too, because we were able to do that when we were that age. We just kind of have to unlearn all our preconceived notions and just get back to like being kids in that way.
Yes, no, I hear you. And you know what? I grew up in Thornhill as well. I remember going to What a Bagel on Saturday morning. We'd all fight over like they're coming out of the oven, and I'm like elbowing my sister because I need it like hot out of the oven. And I also remember we're not allowed back in that Blockbuster because my father, had some words about the 25-cent late fee. But anyways, I had
the most controversial statement.
Statement that yes, but yeah, Thornhill unites. Like in doing this journey, I just want to also call out, like, I know that the folks that worked on this podcast, like in the in the clipping room or whatever you want to call it, you also get a lot of criticism from many sides, and I just really appreciate every single human being here in this room and here behind the stage that made this happen, because it really is not for the faint of heart to say we're just gonna do it. Let's just like zhuzh it up. We'll just like zhuzh up the race war. Like it'll be fine. It's gonna be fine. Just boom, boom. Like just put it together, right? Yeah. Just put it together.
If we can take like one joke from tonight and we can sort of deconstruct it amongst ourselves. Like as a rabbi, I would love to deal with the agnostic joke, but like let's get we can talk.
You want to talk about it?
I'm with you.
No, but in all honesty,
what happened?
The one that I really
one Abrahamic
totally
religion,
cool.
we've won. We've won.
The one that I think is really worth trying to deconstruct a little bit, the joke that actually everybody is on the same side, but for so many different reasons, was your UN joke. Right,
Yes.
where we all hate the UN. Like, everybody thinks the UN is. You think it. I think it. Right. What do you guys think makes this joke brilliant or funny or whatnot?
Can you give a little one?
Whenever I feel useless, I remind myself that the UN exists, and that keeps me going.
Nice. So nicely worded.
It was a genuine feeling of what the UN is useless. It's absolutely useless. I don't know, and it was.
We can all agree.
Yeah.
Useless.
Okay. That's the nice thing about comedy that I'm very grateful for, is I get to process things that happen in my life and put it out into the world, and hopefully it helps someone else.
Just to wrap up, what is one thing that gives you hope as we leave and we move on to the bevy, the beverage part of the evening?
I think in terms of what gives me hope, it are nights like this, where there is a coming together, where there is a coming out, there is a want to understand, a want to see, a want to be part of. That gives me hope. This gives me hope.
Yeah, I think for me, look, what gives me hope, and it's going to sound very weird, is knowing that there is no celestial entity that's going to kill me.
Nice.
There's nobody that's gonna come in and be like, all right, guys, this is what we do now, and they're like, we like that. That is never gonna happen. It's just us. We're good.
But we are divine beings.
But
And so that
sure, we get high. But what I'm saying is, yeah. But I do think that if the feeling of your back is against the wall, that there's nobody gonna come save you. I think there's a lot of salvation in that, knowing like, oh, so the solution is right here. I gotta be doing it. Everybody in this room loves peace. Nobody doesn't love peace. We all love it. It's like saying, hey, do you love pizza? Like, yeah, congratulations. That's awesome. But just saying that, it's like we can't like, I want peace for Christmas. Like, that's never going to happen. We actually have to do something in order to get it done. Saying these slogans, feeling them, that's awesome. And hope you sleep well at night. But we got to do the work and knowing that there's nothing that's going to come save us and it's just us. That is, to me, that gives me hope. Because as much as we love to like look at history in a jaded way and how fucked up it is, there's also a lot of things in history that were very awesome and inspiring and very positive. Humans have risen against adversity so many times, and we've succeeded. We failed, but we also succeeded. We can do this, but we have to do something.
Thank you.
This has been In Good Faith, a podcast produced by the Canadian Jewish News, sponsored by the Canadian Race Relations Foundation, with support from the Ronald S. Roadberg Foundation. Our production team is Zach Kaufman and Michael Freeman.
If you think someone you know would appreciate this episode, please share it with them.
Thanks for listening.